Angimazi umuntu oy-useless njengawe.
Oh,
yazi angazi futhi ngikuphikiselani ngoba sengikhulumile nabazali bakho. Uzobuyela kuyibanga le-11.
Kodwa baba. Like if I catch you. Gitme. Khaya bekenathi. The whole Matric ends when I say it's only fair. What's us trying to form Matric?
Hello everyone. Welcome back to ASR, African Stories Realized. This is our weekly review of Youngins Season 3, episodes 40 to 42. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's get into it. Episode 40 picks up with the Big Five trying to console Khaya after it was announced that he would have to repeat grade 11. However, Khaya was in denial and refused to accept the principal's decision. He confronted Ramathuba in his office, insisting that his parents paid a lot of money for him to attend the school, as he declared that he would not be repeating grade 11. Ramathuba insisted that the decision was already made, as a desperate Khaya and the other students forced to repeat grade 11 began to panic. In the cafeteria, Tsepo of all people made fun of Khaya for repeating, but the Big Five stood up for their friend and defended Khaya, who was starting to feel left out. Amo then tried to cheer him up, encouraging him to look at it as a clean slate and use it as an opportunity to come back stronger. But Khaya was still adamant that he wasn't going to repeat grade 11. Meanwhile, Palesa was in a relationship with a distant Sefako who couldn't stop thinking about Tumelo. He later came clean to Palesa, revealing that he couldn't go out with her anymore because he still had feelings for Tumelo. A disappointed Palesa did not hold back, accusing Sefako of using her and insisting he was no better than Banele, who took advantage of her last season. Sefako wasted no time meeting up with Tumelo and presented him with a letter as he asked for his love back. However, Tumelo rejected him, insisting they should stop trying to force their relationship. Back in class, Khaya interrupted his former Matric classmates before Ramathuba reminded him that he was no longer welcome in the grade 12 class. Khaya was once again defiant until Ramathuba revealed that he had already reported the matter to his parents. Not long after, Khaya's parents arrived for a meeting in the principal's office where Ramathuba explained that Khaya had to repeat because he had no chance of passing Matric and that no tertiary school would accept his marks as they are. Khaya tried to argue his case, but his father supported the principal's decision and gave his son an ultimatum. The episode ends with Freddy insisting that if Khaya doesn't repeat grade 11, he would have to move out of his house. Episode 41 picks up in the boys' dorms with an emotional Khaya packing up his stuff as Sefako tried to stop him. Khaya revealed his frustration with his father and Ramathuba as he once again insisted that he won't repeat grade 11, breaking down in Sefako's arms as his friend tried to console him. Khaya then announced to his friends that he was still determined to leave, but the Big Five encouraged him to stick it out and stay in school, reminding him of all the good he's done in Olifants while promising to support him. Meanwhile, in Ramathuba's office, Puseletso tried to make an argument for Khaya and the other students being forced to repeat grade 11, insisting that they deserved a fair assessment before the decision was made. However, the principal informed her that all the students' parents were in agreement and threatened Puseletso's position as head girl. Sefako then made another attempt to get back with Tumelo, revealing that he broke up with Palesa, but Tumelo insisted that he was at peace and had no desire to get back with his ex. A desperate Sefako then went to Matlata and asked him to help him get back together with Tumelo. But Matlata refused, reminding Sefako how much pain he had put his friend through. Tumelo later confirmed to an elated Matlata that he was done with Sefako and that he had no interest in getting back with him. Amo then tried to reassure Khaya, who had decided to stay ahead of his first grade 11 lesson. Khaya's return to grade 11 was met with laughter and ridicule, despite Pearl defending the former Matric student. After class, Khaya's confidence was low, but Amo once again tried to encourage him. The episode ends with her kissing Khaya and insisting that she was there for him. Episode 42 picks up in the boys' dorms with Sefako once again begging Matlata to help him win Tumelo's love back. But Matlata insisted that Sefako was wasting his time and encouraged him to focus on himself. Butle then asked Tumelo what was going on between him and Sefako, then advised him to do what made him happy. Matlata later caught Tumelo staring at Sefako from afar, suggesting that he was having a change of heart. Sefako then confided in Khaya, revealing how bad he wanted to get back with Tumelo, and his friend encouraged him to go after him if that was the case. Sefako made another attempt to talk to Tumelo, but they were interrupted by Palesa and Alex, who humiliated Sefako in front of the other students, with Palesa even complimenting Tumelo for rejecting Sefako. Meanwhile, things were awkward between Amo and Khaya after their kiss. but Amo suggested that they get back together since Khaya will be at the school for another year. The couple reconciled. However, on the other side of the school, Matlato confessed to Tumelo that if he had a chance to get back together with Amo, he would take it, even referring to her as his first love. With the Matric dance approaching, the students were determined to fight for Khaya's right to attend with his former classmates. Butle, Sefako, and Puseleto went to Ramatuba's office and made a passionate plea for Khaya to join them at the Matric dance. However, the principal was not amused, and the episode ends with him savagely rejecting their request, as he suggested that they wouldn't be getting a prom. It was a very busy set of episodes today as the show maneuvered to be in place for next week's finale, so we have a lot to talk about. From early trailers that were released, we know that Ramatuba will ban the Matric dance next week, which means next week will probably revolve around the students' fight for their Matric dance. They've already started coupling up to ensure that all the members of the Big Five will be able to attend the dance, which is why they were campaigning for Khaya's right to attend the Matric dance. He could easily go as Butler's date or another grade 12 girl, but they want him to be able to bring his own date, which is Amo. Puseleto will take Matlate and Sefako will take Dumelo, because those three are all in grade 10. It looks like Butle and Mazambane will attend together, and I don't mind that at all. He's been crushing on her since season 1, and the backstory they revealed about his sister also having been through a teenage pregnancy was a nice touch. Even if it's just a platonic relationship, I think they set it up well. However, Khaya and Amo getting back together came out of nowhere, because last week he was ready to drop out of school for Butle. I know a lot of you in the comments who have been shipping Amo and Matlate must be disappointed, but the show did leave the door open for Matlate to try and win her back next week. Amo was also chasing after him just 2 weeks ago, so I have to agree with those suggesting that her character leaves a lot to be desired this season. She was originally the lead of the ensemble, but has taken a back seat during this 3rd season, which I think is because of scheduling and availability. I've been disappointed with the lack of conviction this season, something the character was previously known for. She's a bit all over the place, but performance-wise, the actress has done her best with what she's been given. Like I said, I think it was just a matter of scheduling and availability. Matlate and Puseleto are a weird couple, and someone in the comments had a beautiful theory that Puseleto's father could also be Matlate's long-lost father. I think it would have perfectly fit given what we know about the characters. It's a twist we wouldn't have seen coming, and it definitely would have given the season more depth. Also, then Matlate would actually have a reason to break up with Puseleto, because right now, like I've said before, it's like he's leading her on, and it seems like he's too much of a nice guy to break up with him to chase Amo. I feel like the show was reluctant to commit to certain decisions and storylines, like with Tumelo today. He went from confidently rejecting Sefako to staring at him with desire. So it's just weird that when we thought that door was closed, they opened it immediately after. There were so many good plots this season which didn't reach their full potential. The entanglement between Sefako, Tumelo, and Palisa was never really believable, but it was big for Tumelo and Sefako's growth. If they end up together, I think it'll undermine the character development that they've been through. Sefako was also painted with a very unflattering brush today. Besides hitting Tumelo that one time, he's been portrayed as a good guy, and some of the dialogue today undermined the growth his character made after he failed to take his own life. The way I see it, Sefako always wanted Tumelo to be more mature and responsible, so it makes sense that he wants to get back together with him now that he's exhibiting those traits. I think this show should have leaned more into that instead of villainizing Sefako's character today. That being said, him and Palisa were never a good fit. They're both great actors, but their characters don't mix. It just felt forced. Palisa was criminally misused, and her character development from last season was also undermined by this storyline. I wish they'd given her more to work with, and I hope she doesn't get typecast doing these taboo storylines or polarizing storylines. I love the monologue she gave after Sefako broke up with her. She killed that scene, but some of us knew it was over weeks ago. They didn't sell it enough to make it believable. Initially, I felt bad for Tsepo after Ramatuba disciplined him, but the way he's been behaving recently justifies it. I'm glad Khaya accepted that he had to repeat grade 11, but technically it's more like repeating grade 12 because the school year is almost done. I think it was ultimately the right decision, and I can relate with Khaya. I've also tutored ICT to high school students, and it's not hard to tell when a student will fail, especially when you have a poor attitude like Khaya. We've got 1 week to go till the finale, and and I really enjoyed reviewing this show with you all. Thank you so much to everyone who's been active in the comments. I'm looking forward to reading your reviews as always. Youngins Season 3 is streaming every Friday on Showmax. Thank you for watching. We'll be back next week with another review. Don't forget to like and subscribe. This is ASR for the love of African filmmaking and storytelling.